Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to pick my June TBR. I can't believe we are already halfway through this year. May was a decently good reading month for me, and you will see that in my May reading wrap up. Hopefully not too far from now. I've been a little behind on filming stuff lately, but life's just been busy. So let's talk about what's left on my May TBR, what I'm hoping to do in June, and all of that. So I always have my Kindle here as an option, so I'll just add it to the stack up here. And then left on my May TBR, I have the Turn Glass, which I have started. I'm only a little bit in. I'm just under 30 pages into the first side of this book. It is a double-sided book. I do have a few more days left in May, I think like 2 at this point that I'm filming it. And so I know I'll get a little bit farther into this book. So this one will not be an option for my June TBR. So we'll set it off to the side. And then The Will of the Many, I just ran out of time in the month of May to pick up. I still really want to read this book. I obviously have the first one and the second one. But I just ran out of time. But now that we're getting into summer, I will have more time to read these chunkier books. I'm still very excited about it. So I'm going to add it back to my very full, again, TBR shelf. I do have a few new books on my shelf. So if they come up, I will talk about them. I'm going to actually move my camera just a little bit so you can see my shelf a tiny bit better. Okay, that looks a little bit better. You can actually see the books stacked on top now. So let's, for the month of June, pick 6 books. Again, I've been feeling very motivated to read and just get through books. And I also have a pretty ambitious list of books that I want to read. Some are on my Kindle, some are physical, and there's also some audiobooks that I have on hold from the library that I'm hoping to get through, but let's focus on physical and ebooks today. So my very nice TBR jar, as always. Let's shake her up and get to picking. Always my favorite part of the month. Pick number 1. Book that was a gift. I'm gonna have to check and see because I have read a few books that were gifts recently, so let's take a look. So the only 2 books that were gifts I've left on my shelf are Lark Ascending and the Book of Longings. So I think I would like to put, let me read the back of them and I will see. I think I'm gonna put Lark Ascending on my TBR to read this one. It is a dystopian book and I haven't read a lot of dystopian lately, so I think this would be a nice one to add to my TBR. So let's add it to the stack, put this one back on the shelf, and we'll do our next pick. Pick number 2. Yellow cover. So let's look for what I have yellow on the cover. Okay, I think for yellow cover, these are my best fits. I have The Librarian Always Rings Twice and the Book of Longings. I think I'm gonna go with The Librarian Always Rings Twice. This will finish out a series for me, so I can get that checked off of my series list. And this was like a cozy mystery book, so it should, I think, pair well with the dystopian of just giving me a mix of genres to read. So we'll add this for yellow cover, and we'll once again add this back to my shelf. Pick number 3. is mystery book. Well, that one would have worked for mystery book, but let's see what I have. I think my best bet for mystery book is a classic mystery book, and that would be And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This will actually end up being a reread for me. This is one of my favorite Agatha Christie books that I've read so far. I haven't read a ton of her books, and that's something that I do want to go through and read, are more of her books, but I did purchase this one recently at Barnes & Noble. As you can see, it was buy one, get one 50% off. So I am excited to reread this and re-enjoy this story. Okay, so we're on pick number 4. Pick number 4 is Author's Name Starts with S. Let's take a look. Okay, right away I know what I want to read. I want to read the second book in the When the Moon Hatched series, which is the Ballad of Falling Dragons. This came out in May, and it is by Sarah A. Parker, so author's name starts with S. Very excited to be able to get that one on my TBR because that is one of my priority books for June. And let's do pick number 5. So 2 more picks. Pick number 5. Number 5 is first word of the book is the. I'm going to check my priority books and see if I can find one that starts with the. Okay, after looking through my TBR, I came up with 3 choices. I have The Long Game, which I know will be a quick read. It is a romance book, and I've read this author before, and it's usually a pretty fast read for me. Or I can go with a nonfiction book. I can go with How the Word is Passed, which is a nonfiction book about slavery in America. And then I also have I believe this is nonfiction as well. Yeah, this is nonfiction as well, called American Flag Girl, and I actually won this one in a Goodreads giveaway, and I'm really excited to read it. I enjoy reading about this time period and flight. So I think what I'm going to do is, based on what I have on my TBR right now, I think I want to put American Flag Girl on as my nonfiction. It's also fairly short, and this is a book I just keep seeing on my shelf and wanting to read. So we'll have this one for first word of the book is the. And that was actually a much harder prompt than I thought. I had to look through a lot of books, and a lot of books that I did really want to read to find one. Okay, and finally, pick number 6. Let's make it a good one. Here we are. Pick number 6 is Book with a Black Spine. Well, at least this one will be easier to find. I am going to go with the newest book on my TBR, which is Bride by Allie Hazelwood. This is a book that is a priority for me to read in June because it fulfills one of the prompts that I still need to finish for Herkyed, and I'm very close to being done, and this is one of the books that will help me finish it out. Okay, so here is our stack of books for June. Let's go through them all. Okay, Book That Was a Gift, Lark Ascending, Yellow Cover, The Librarian Always Rings Twice, mystery book, And Then There Were None. Author's name starts with S, The Ballad of Falling Dragons. First word of the book is The American Fly Girl. And book with a black spine, Bride. So there is my TBR for the month of June. I'm hoping that June will be the month this year that I get through all of these books. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.